What is up, guys? My name is BrmP and welcome back to another video. And as you can see, we are back on the Raven again. And as you probably have seen by that little intro, I have docked it in something very big. Yeah, it's something very, very big. So this is something I have been working on like maybe a month or two ago. Basically when I found out I could play Space Engineers again on my laptop, and then I thought to myself, you know, I haven't made any stations in a while, and I really should have used the other doors for these, but okay. And I thought to myself, you know, let's make a big station. Let's make a station that big that it fits the Raven. And it does. It does fit the Raven. So guys, basically this is my new dry dock. The thing is massive. Yeah, it's really massive. So a bit quick size comparison. If I zoom out with, you can't even see the Space Engineer anymore. That's how big my shit is at the moment. And basically this, yeah, this dry dock, its main purpose is to just resupply and yeah, to just help ships which are maybe damaged, repair them a bit. It doesn't have any welders for that, but of course this thing is so big it can produce like hell of a lot of stuff, and therefore, you know, ships can just come over here, get some supplies, dock up just like I did with the Raven. That's the whole reason why I put in those two pistons, so they can connect up with the station itself. And yeah, let's go and see what's on the station. So basically the station, it's mirrored like in two times, so that side is mirrored and the back to the front is mirrored. And yeah, this basically means that we've got four somewhat identical sections to one another, but not all of them, of course. I'm saying a lot of I'm sorry guys, it's just the way I am. But on this side, we got a lot of hydrogen and a lot of oxygen going together with I believe some of the small reactors this thing has somewhere there. Yeah, no, those are both the refineries. Well, whatever. Yeah, it has like 3 reactors over here and 3 on the other side, 3 on all the other sides. So total 12 small reactors. I think that's actually it. But on the roof, as you can see, it has like a butt-ton loads of solar panels. So this thing gets enough power, I think, to basically power everything when it needs to. And yeah, that's basically what you have on this floor, because this station, it contains of 3 floors, as you can see. Well, maybe 4 or 3.5, depends on how you look at it. But yeah, this is so the main production floor. You've got all your assemblers, all the refineries on all sides, and as you can see, there are loads of refineries. So I reckon the station could be used more for refining ores in sectors which people used to mine a lot, so they can just get resources and all that stuff. But I guess let's go down first. So on both sides you've got this main stair section which is going up and down. So if you're down, you can just walk in here and go all the way up, and vice versa, and just walk out on any floor you basically want. So yeah, that's one thing to make it a little bit more survival ready, because I know this thing is just way too big to actually be kinda useful in survival, but in theory you could use it in survival. What we got on the lower deck is these little bunkers. I'll go over them in a minute, of course. And a hell of a lot of storage, which you can access like right here, but also of course through any anywhere else in the station, because everything is connected with these connectors, which you see lying over everywhere. And yeah, that's one big flaw of a building in the skeleton ways of style. You don't really have places to hide your connector or your conveyors, which sometimes is kind of annoying, but it also gives just that more industrial feeling to the whole build, basically. But yeah, in these little bunker thingy-madoodlers, these are basically crew quarters. So we got 4 on the station, 1 on each side, of course. And yeah, as in to the interior, I could not do really much in here, just because it's vanilla and we don't have like loads of interior blocks and all that stuff. But you've got some cryo chambers here. I should probably turn on a light, because for some reason it starts to be foggy on my screen. Yeah, you got your cryo chambers over here. You got some seats over there which you just walk by, which has a lovely view, I have to say, of the outside world. Lovely. Especially when this could be used as a central hub or maybe a multiplayer server for those which has a really big computer. And then just yeah, imagine this thing as being your central station, and then everybody just comes in and out with their ships, docking, getting some supplies for the community and all that stuff. And yeah, and out here you've got your somewhat beds with some personal cargo, which I think actually are hooked up to the system, so they're not that personal. No, as you can see, yeah, they're hooked up to the main storage system. But this thing isn't, so this could probably just serve as your personal cargo for yeah, if you share that with your buddies, basically. And then of course you got your medical station, because you need one, like always. So if we go down again and find a way out, these doors are not automatic, which I tend to do in my latest builds, but I was kinda lazy, I have to say, with this, and I didn't feel like going around and labeling all these doors and all that stuff and basically getting them yeah, automatic. One thing I probably forgot is to turn on my helmet again, but okay. Yeah, one thing I have to say, the station is, most areas are not pressurized, so the only areas which are the crew quarters, the med bay, the central med bay up there, and the command station in there. Those, well, 6 areas basically are pressurized, the rest of the station is not. So you have to keep yourself yeah, just supplied with oxygen, basically, because you're not going to find it everywhere on the station. Yeah, I'll just walk back up, and then we'll go, I think, to the next floor. And you just walk up here, and you go up into, yeah, the other central part tower bit, and then you find yourself at first, yeah, this little area. You can go up further, that goes to the overlay bridge thing, don't really know what to call it. But if you go out here, you find yourself on a catwalk, go into these little platforms between the ribs. And basically these are yeah, landing pads for smaller ships. So if you've got a little fighter which just has to come here, dock, or even a mining ship which just comes back from, say, that asteroid over there, you just can come over here, ditch all your supplies, maybe get some uranium back, and then go for another run. That's basically how this, I imagine how this station would be used, basically. More or less like a central, yeah, hub, basically, for everything yeah, having to do with your faction, basically. So that's that, a little yeah, docking station for small ships, basically. Yeah, and if we go further up, up the stairs, and up here, you are basically at the highest point you can get in this station. Yeah, if you cheat, you can walk up those ribs there on the the landing areas for small ships, and walk on the roof of this thing. But basically, this is the highest you can come up in the station, and I have to say, this looks just awesome. Seeing like the Raven docked here inside this thing, it's just cool. So I guess let's go that way. So if you go, by the way, there, you just walk over to the other side. That's mainly what this thing is. It's a bridge from one side to the other. And then, yeah, you've got all the same things out there as you got going on here. Yeah, but if we just activate the jetpack real quick, because this walk is really annoying and long, because the station is so super duper long. These doors, I actually did automate for some reason. Because I thought, you know, these are probably more important doors and going to be more used than the ones in the crew quarters. So yeah, if they're more important, I think, then apparently I decided to put the sensors on there. But basically, this is your neutral med bay medical room. So every if for example, if you got some faction going on your server, and you can then just assign each faction to one of these crew quarters, and then have them basically as a central thing for them, and then the station maybe for one of those diplomatic safe zones. So even factions which are at war with each other are not allowed basically to fire. Basically have this as your no weapon safe zone area. So if you want to discuss some terms over the war, you can come here on neutral grounds and then just talk with each other, and then fly out and kill each other again, basically. Yeah, that's how I reckon. I'm going to say that a lot, I guess, this episode. That's how I reckon just this station is used in more more logical ways, basically. Yeah, as you can see, we've got here some cargo containers which are also hooked up to the main system, just as this med bay. So basically, when you spawn, you can grab some supplies and then be on your way. That's the main thoughts behind all of that. And now if we make our way all the way over to the other side, which is so long. I actually kind of forgot that there was glass up there. Looks so cool though. You have these main supports going over and then just the glass in between. I don't know, sometimes I amaze myself with my building skills, if you want to call that. Then if we go in here, we are in the main command center. So basically what I think people would use this for is just to guide in, like maybe a ship as the Raven, just have radio control or radio connection with them, and talk them through the docking procedure, or even talk small ships, assign them to basically to a certain port in which they can dock, and then say, okay, you can come in, don't destroy anything or else you'll be shot, you know. I don't know, that's how I reckon it would go. And then you've got your pilot seat, I assume, because one issue I found out is, of course, this thing isn't anchored to any asteroid or something. And by the way, this is as far as I can zoom out, so I cannot even see the rear end of the thing when you are kind of in the piloting seat, which I don't know, might be a problem, might not be for some people. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. But the reason why there are thrusters on this thing is, of course, space engineers now has that annoying thing, which stations are no longer part of the grid if you don't turn off that setting, which I always forget to do, and kind of makes it more challenging, of course, to build anything yeah, floating in space, of course. And therefore this thing does need thrusters just to keep it in place, because when I docked the Raven, of course, the Raven, I bumped the connectors a bit with each other, and if this thing did not have any thrusters, it just would have gone flying through space, and then that would have made docking with this thing a million times more harder than it should be, basically. And if you really want, you can then also reposition this thing. Basically, it actually does want to turn. Interesting. But it doesn't take the Raven with it, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so if, for example, the sun is not really in an optimal spot for you, you can just turn the station like when to the sun, so you can 100% use every little bit of solar energy, or just you find the station in an area which is just overcrowded with bad guys, basically. Yeah, you could just move the station to a whole different section. Why the fuck did that just happen? Okay, well, that's basically the big everything there is to see on this big station. Yeah, it's like really big, guys, and that's the thing that just amazes me, the size of this thing. Like, I actually made this video already with my laptop, but then I got my new PC and I was like, okay, not gonna happen. I have to do this again, because it's just not. If I would have posted that video, then it would just not do. How do you say that? The frame rate would not basically be enough to do justice to the size of this thing, basically, because it's so big. Like, if you set your world limits render distance at, come on, fall down, there you go, at 15 kilometers, then you'll still be able to see this thing easily, like easily. Actually think this world might be on 16 kilometer, on 15 kilometers. So if I now jump into spectator, you can see there the thing is. And now if I zoom out, you'll still be able to see the thing. And we're now 15 kilometers away. So if I go a bit below that, you still can see it. Like, that's how big this thing is. And for those who don't know, the Raven, it's around the same size as the Horizon is, the other drop ship, which just doesn't work, and I kind of gave up hope on. And that thing is 265 meters long. So the Raven is about the same length, maybe even a bit longer, and it just barely fits into the station. So there you go, guys. This thing is big. That's, I think, going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, hit subscribe, and I guess, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!